Today we're continuing with our point shoe series, and Ava is going to figure out where she wants her ribbons and elastic placed. So the first thing she does is she puts on a brand new shoe straight out of the box. How lovely. We do not pull the drawstring for this process.
So this is the ribbon that I use. It's a nice stretchy ribbon. I love it. I think this is the top. Yep.
Yeah, there's more sheen on one side of this particular brand of ribbon than there is on the other.
I mean, it doesn't really matter which way you sew it, but I like it this way. So then I try and find about where my arch is, because once you have it actually sewn, the ribbon's actually sewn, it pulls up there and then it makes your arch look nicer, so that the fabric isn't all just bunching down and being like that versus like that. Okay. That's much prettier. So I generally try and find where my arch is, and then I'll just kind of hold it there and pull up and kind of pretend to tie the ribbon. And then that needs to go back a little bit farther. So I'll slide it back a little bit farther. There. And nope. It needs to stay. Forward. And it all depends on basically just where you like it. There's no like set place you have to put your ribbons. So anybody who tells you that is wrong. It depends on where you want it. Yep, that's good.
And then she's going to make two little marks on the drawstring casing with the pencil so that I know that the ribbon goes between those two marks when I go to sew. See? Okay.
And now we'll do the other side. This has a bolt of ribbons in it, by the way.
Now, how do you find, since this is the outside of your foot, how do you find the correct placement?
So for me, there's still this tiny little bit of arch there, but that's not what I generally do. By this time, I kind of just know. Before that, I kind of just stuck it all around my foot, figured out where I wanted it. I tried it back there, I tried it there. In one of the other videos, I think there's a recording of me saying, I had these ribbons in all the wrong spots. It was terrible. So now, usually this is pretty close to the seam, but I don't really measure by that. It's kind of more just like,
yeah,
where do I want it for my foot?
On this brand of point shoes, I will say that the seams are not always in alignment with each other. Like usually you'll have one here and then directly straight across you'll have the other one. And it's not always like that in this particular style of shoe.
Yeah, so personally, I like my ribbons on my ankle bone there, like that, and then on the other ankle bone. And then obviously you tie them here always, because that's the squishy part of your ankle, so that it doesn't hurt any of your bone or especially your Achilles tendon or anything like that. So then I like it wrapped around just above that there, and then that would be where I would tie it. So for me, this placement is just right because I can easily do that really quickly. So if I just get my pencil, and I'll just make the marks. Of course, everybody likes their ribbons in a different spot, but that's where I like mine.
Okay.
And they usually are, I don't know if you can see both at the same time, probably, if I take off the shoe, and they usually are somewhat in alignment with each other. There's one, and there's the other.
Mm-hmm. On this one, though, it looks like the side seams are pretty much in alignment, too.
I wasn't talking about the side seams. I was talking about
where your ribbon
I was
will be
talking about
placed.
where my ribbons will be placed.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got that. All right. Now, elastics. Okay. So, here we have our elastic. And she has her shoe on her foot. And I usually place the end of the elastic very close to the heel seam that's back here. Okay, so just on the outside of the heel seam, way down here. Okay, so you take one, and I just do this on the outside for now, okay? And I put the elastic in what's going to be a good spot. So
Now, we do sew them on the inside of the shoe. She's just placing it on the outside for ease of use.
right, so then I take my pencil, and have we got the right placement for you on top of your ankle?
No.
No.
Way down there.
Down there.
Right there.
Good. Okay. So now, as you can see, there is an angle here. Like the elastic is at an angle. It's not straight up and down like this. Okay. It's at an angle. So you like it right there? No. See, now I moved it on her. Good.
I'm going to keep my finger
Okay.
there.
So then all I do is the same thing we did with the ribbons up here. I just mark the two sides of where the elastic is going to go, and then the elastic goes in between those two. Now, pull. This is a kind of a long piece for her elastics, but I'm going to place this down towards the bottom, and I'm going to pull this tight over her ankle so we can get a length of the elastic. Does that feel good?
It's a little bit tight.
A little tight. There.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to hold that there. I'm going to mark the other side. It's kind of an acrobatic twister game that we have going on here. Okay. And then I'm going to hold this. So this small piece right here is what we're not using. Where my thumbnail is the part that we are using. Okay, and I am just going to mark a line there and put an X here so I know I'm not using that. And what foot is this?
My right.
So we're going to put a little R very lightly on here so that I know this one goes on her right foot, because her elastics are not always the same size for each foot. And that's how we do that. All right, so I thought I'd let you guys know what kind of elastic and ribbons we use. So Ava likes stretchy ribbon, and we use the Pillow for Point stretch ribbon in, this is her Euro pink. It matches her tights almost perfectly. It is very stretchy. It is shiny, kind of shiny, not as shiny as satin, but kind of shiny on one side and pretty flat on the other side. But it has a nice stretch to it. It's very soft. It feels very similar to satin, especially on the shiny side. And we use the Russian Point. I'll get the light out of the way. There we are. The Russian Point elastic for around her ankle. This is their Russian Point pink, and it is a darker color than the ribbon. Okay, but it doesn't really matter because the elastic that goes around her ankle gets pretty well covered up by the ribbon. So you don't really see it all that much. But this elastic is a moderate strength. It's not like really loose like the mesh elastics that you see, like the invisible kind. And this one's pretty stretchy. There are stiffer ones that will hold your ankle, but it kind of like prevents her from getting all the way over on point. The stiffer your elastic is, the harder it is to point your ankle enough. All right, so and I just buy them a bolt at a time because I'm doing so many point shoes right now. The shoes that she's in, the Block Heritage, the box dies on her in about a month. And she's not doing all that much dancing. She probably dances, I'd say 6 hours a week, if it's not spring ballet season. If it is, then maybe like 8 or 9. But that's what we use.